snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I am here with Sin, and you are tuned into Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today, jokes will be late, just so you know, but he's coming. Okay, good, out of the way. What that means is Sin has to do jokes job. He'll get the beacons link up for you because that way you have a link to help you find us wherever we are across the socials and the interwebs as they are. Now, Sin, you have a job to do.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Embe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Quite the lineup of patrons. Yes, we do indeed appreciate you. Thank you for all of your support, whether it be on Patreon or not. Speaking of Patreon, again, that is one of the best ways to support us is to go directly to our Patreon, which you can see scrolling across the top of the screen right now.
Absolutely.
Honestly, one of the best ways to support us, but other ways you can support us are simple things like remembering to hit like, remembering to hit subscribe, sharing the stuff that you see, and when we're live like this, joining in the conversation. No pressure. I know some of you like to lurk, and lurking is okay. You know, under certain circumstances.
Shout out to the lurkers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Love for the lurkers. You know what I'm saying? But you can also support us by going to Spotify and checking out all of our podcasts there. Or if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to our podcast there as well. Hey, Candace, how are you? Good evening to you. Candace, since I know you're here, did you get tickets for Thunderbolts? Just wondering. Now, Spotify, all of our podcasts, Spoiler Boys, the Anime Chat podcast, The Finisher, our wrestling podcast, this show itself, all available on Spotify and other podcast services. But again, also, if you are a YouTube subscriber, these shows are also saved as podcasts on YouTube. And what that really means is that it benefits you if you are like a YouTube. Hi, Nana.
Hey,
how are you? It benefits you if you are a YouTube Premium member, because YouTube Premium allows you to listen to your YouTube with your phone screen turned off. If you're just like watching YouTube and you turn off your phone screen, it shuts off the sound. YouTube Premium, I wish Kay was here, obfuscates that as an issue. And makes it so you can listen, but also in terms of it being a podcast, we'll do the same things that a normal podcast player would do for you, which is like go to the next episode and those kinds of things. So that's an additional benefit. Now, having gotten all of that out of the way, Sin, last week we were gifted.
It was a pretty nice gift.
We were gifted with a new game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which, you know, it's a mouthful. I'm not super sure about that part of it. What I am sure of is what my first impressions of this game are. And before we go there, Sin, because I know you have things to say about it, the first thing I want to do is say that this game, which is an indie game, but is from an indie developer that is comprised of, as a lot of indies seem to be now, people who used to be AAA developers and broke away from their other development teams and came together to form this team. But this indie game sold over 1 million copies in its first 3 days.
Amazing.
That is even though it's in Game Pass at no additional charge for Game Pass subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And that their total numbers for like players does not include or did not include their Game Pass players when they initially announced it. So a major win there.
Yes.
I said, before you talk about how you feel about this game, can you explain a little bit? Give me the synopsis for what this game is.
Wow. Okay. There's this looming entity or whatever it is that they call the paintress that you see, like it's like a monolith way off in the distance, and it has these numbers like painted, if you will, on them. And when you start the game off, they're at 34. It's called 33 because every year she wakes up every year, turns around, erases the old one, and paint a new number, and it always goes down. So this one will be 33, and everybody who's 34 will die. And then the next year, when she paints the new number, like 33, all those people who are 33 years old will die. So the mission, well, the game is about putting together an expedition to go and try to figure out what's going on and stop it from happening. But it's one of the type of things where nobody's ever come back from it. They don't know what happened to the people, yada yada yada. So it's like a very dangerous thing to go out there. But you're trying to get information and at most take her out if you can do it and stop this from happening every single year. That's pretty much the blanket gist of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the early stages, there's not a lot, but it seems as if this is a thing that has been happening since
It's been
like
67 years.
100. Like it started at 100.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe there was nobody who was 100 years old at the time, and it didn't really matter.
Affect them, yeah, something like yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Effectively, what happens is every year the paintress shows up on a specific day. They all know when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They do like a festival around it.
Yep.
Not really in celebration of it, so to speak, but
it's more to say goodbye and celebrate the people that are getting ready to get, if you will, dusted, pretty much. So
right, because they don't. We don't even really technically know if they die. What we know, like when it happens, they basically get dusted like Thanos did it. Like they kind of turned into like flower petals.
Yeah,
and just kind of like float away.
Yep.
So it's not like when we say they die, it's not like they just like keel over. You know what I mean? And their bodies, like they more or less disappear. It is a lot like what happens when Thanos snaps. If you're an MCU fan, so yeah, every year they do an expedition and send a group of brave souls who are usually the people who are next on the chopping block, if you will, to go and try to find the paintress and stop the paintress. Whether that means kill the paintress,
right?
Whatever.
Have a chat with her, whatever it is. But
yeah.
But
they don't know. Nobody has ever left kind of their bubble. Like they're in France, which doesn't really look like France. Something has happened to the world / the planet that is making things different.
Yeah, like it's almost gravity's kind of wonky. There's stuff just floating in the air and just above and spatial. It's real. It's dope, but it's real crazy and trippy looking.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it's a really interesting story that I think is a premise unlike anything else I've ever seen or heard of in a game. I felt the same way when we saw the first trailer.
Yep.
I want to say like
January at MagFest
a year ago.
Was that MagFest? Was that when we first saw that MagFest? This year when they were showing us doing that, like we're showing you like 4 games that are coming up, and it was that.
There was an Xbox, like I can't remember if that was the first time we saw it, but that was the first time we got a deep dive. But it could have been the first time. Either way, I was kind of intrigued. That was what that was our first kind of deep dive into like the systems and how it worked, and knowing that it was like a turn-based RPG and like getting that look at it, where I was like, oh,
yeah, this is it.
Like something I need to kind of put my hands on. So you've been playing, I've been playing. Give me your first impressions or your impressions so far of the game.
I fell in love with this game within the first hour, just the prologue alone. And I always said to myself a lot, oh, I'm completing this game. Like, yeah, like I am going to completion with this one here. Like it does a great way of introducing the characters and setting everything up and kind of like the story with the love story in the beginning. And I got Gustav, got to watch the love of his life get dusted or flowered or whatever, like right in front of them, like everything in the conversation with everybody. I was digging all the characters and the world. Like, I was really into the world building of how everything looked. Like I said, it's all crazy and freaky looking and everything. I was super, super invested. And even more so once we take off on the expedition. Because once we get off on the expedition, everything just gets more crazier and weird, but super interesting. And I won't go too far without spoiling anything, but things go left once the expedition starts. And yeah, it goes super left. And like just as far as just like when I started, I'm super, super hype and super ready to figure out things and put things together. And I've been finding things out online. I think I got to restart my run. So that's probably happening. Yeah.
Dog, are you cheating?
No, it's one of the things like, all right, have you met the all white creatures?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that I'm technically not supposed to murk them, and I killed one of them.
I didn't. I mean, I haven't fought one. I met the first one that's sitting there that's asking for like the flame. That's asking you to give them a flame so they have light. And I went and I found the thing and I brought them a flame.
Yeah, I think I did that one. I did do that one, but the one after that I found, that one I did it, but afterwards they was like, still want to fight him. I thought he called an attitude with me, so I was like, yeah, I want some experience, and I fought him and killed him. Which you're not supposed to, because if you do it for all of them, like you get like this dope Lumina. So I was like, dang it.
Yeah, they told you got to find all of them in the world, and okay.
Yeah. So I think I might restart it just for that. So
messed up. Yeah. Here's the thing. There's a lot of debate right now. This game is causing, oddly enough, this conversation to come back around that seems to happen every now and again when it comes to like your JRPG. This is not a Japanese developed game, but it is a turn-based RPG. However, there is an action element to the way that it's played. So if you are someone who likes RPGs, but maybe isn't into turn-based or isn't into the more traditional Japanese RPG tropes, like those tropes, it's all there. But when you're in a battle, you have the option when you attack someone,
don't blink,
to time to press your buttons during your attack to increase damage or to add extra attacks to it and so forth. But also when you're being attacked, you have the option to either dodge or to parry attacks. And whether you dodge or parry attacks can add additional points to your abilities while you're playing that allow you to use additional skills and things like that while you're in battle. And so it becomes very important for you to learn the timing of different creatures, understand how to parry and or how to dodge, and to strategically kind of set yourself up for each battle. And there is a timeline. This is not a new thing. Like there's a timeline. You can literally see like who's going to have the opportunity to attack next, and attack when. Which I can tell you, the way I play, like I also love strategy on top of loving RPGs, and I am a fan of turn-based RPGs. I love the way this forces more action on you and kind of makes you pay attention during the battle instead of just kind of pressing the buttons and waiting.
You have to. Yeah.
But it's also having an effect on the way that I am increasing. Like when you go up in levels, every time you level up, you actually have the option to take your experience points and put them into certain attributes for your character. And I have a very specific system for how I'm doing it now, because adding attributes to certain things will actually add additional attributes to other ones, even though that's not the one you're putting the points into. So you might add like 2 points to your luck, but adding 2 points to your luck will actually add an additional point to like your speed. or adding 2 points to your speed will actually add an additional point to like one of your other attributes. And so I've gotten into this kind of cadence where I'll look at where I feel like I need them the most. I will add the points to everything and back them out to see where I'm getting the most bang for my buck by adding my points where. And then I am, under a lot of circumstances, adding my additional points to speed. Because the speed category it helps to determine when you attack and how often you attack when you're in battle. Just that meta alone, I'm like, they're doing this. This is what I need to be. It is really, really reminding me a lot of Lost Odyssey.
1000%.
It's giving me Lost Odyssey vibes in placement, in look, in kind of feeling. It is. There has not been an RPG, in my opinion, as good as no turn-based RPG, in my opinion, has been as good as Lost Odyssey since Lost Odyssey came out. Nothing that feels like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore because people complain, I feel like, so much about turn-based that they've kind of strayed away from it in a lot of ways, and they've gone to more action-oriented RPGs. There's turn-based stuff out there. It certainly has in recent years kind of started to come around, but this is the first thing that's come around that has felt like that and felt as good as that. And I've only really ever gotten that from like Mistwalker games in that era of like Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, what have you. So it's also kind of like tapping a nostalgia bone for me.
And the music is incredible.
Is like the main character, Gustav, is voiced by Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself. The way that they speak to each other and interact with each other, the way they move around throughout the world and speak to each other, like it's already like pulling you in. Like it's just like, and again, like the premise of it alone is like
dope.
It's not like we've never seen a thing where somebody's going on a voyage that nobody really knows what's on the other side and how it's going to turn out. But the circumstances under which you're doing it, where it's like, yo, if we don't succeed, it's almost like if we don't succeed, we're going to die anyway. We're gone anyway. So
then if you do, then if you don't.
Here and you know what I mean, see what we can do. See what options we have. And nobody ever, I think maybe one person has ever returned or something weird like that. Like they train for it and they take on younger people to train to go on the expedition. But again, you're training for something you have no idea what you're up
what you're dealing with.
Yeah. On that note, they have already started working on casting for the movie.
Well, that's one of the first things I said when I was playing. It was like, it's an Amazon or somebody needs to do a live action show or something of this because this is spectacular.
This is pretty dope, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Visually. And like I was saying, and the music is dope. Music is really good in this.
Bro.
So good.
From the splash screen in the beginning of the game. I was just like, I just let it play. I just let the music play. I just let Shorty sing in the background. Singing in French. I don't know what she's talking about. But whatever she's talking about, she's talking about it. She's singing it through.
Yes.
It's operatic and it's big and like it's just I'm in there. There are some it's an Unreal Engine 5 game. And I don't know what, there's some artifacting and some like kind of weird stuff with like hair and certain things when they go close up in some areas. Did you fight a mime?
I fought like 3 or 4 of them so far.
Did you fight the one in the town? Like where you first start, like during the festival?
Yeah, he whooped me the first time and I came back and got my lick back. I'm like, dude, you hit hard.
He whooped me. I was hot.
Me too. I was like, can we beat him right now? Like you slapped him kind of hard. Ran it back, got him. Like, okay.
But here's the thing. That fight really taught me that like you can beat anybody in. Like you can beat, there really is, if you know how to dodge and you know how to parry, if you learn their timing, you can really go.
That is life or death every time. You have to get the parry and the dodging down. Yeah. You cannot survive a battle
especially when they
period
can kill
without
you
that.
in like 1 or 2 hits.
Oh
So
yeah.
you just have to be good enough to like
Yep. I've had
to
plenty of
run them down.
those. Run up on somebody new, one hit, wham. I'm like, okay, got it. I got to make sure I got these timings down correct. Let's run that back
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
And like when that happens, you're not usually too far away from where you were. Like you kind of get dropped right back in the world. You don't gotta wait for loading times or nothing like that. Like
Yeah,
that's super helpful to keep you engaged.
yeah. I mean, look, I will say this: I've never been a big fan. Probably my biggest gripe right now is that I've never been a big fan of only being able to like upgrade your characters at like
Oh,
a
at
base.
the yeah.
I don't really like that. Like if I'm out here and I'm gaining the experience, just give me my experience. You know what I mean? Like don't make me go back to a flag and what you know what I mean, go to a rest area to do that. I've never liked that in games, but they're relatively close in this
Yeah, they're
game.
not too far in between each other when you find a new one.
So
Yeah.
it really hasn't been that bad. So I'm like, all right, I can do this. And every time you save or you go to one and you rest, it resets all the characters. Like
Yeah,
it resets all
like Jedi Survivor and the one before that. Yeah, they did the same thing.
Jedi Survivor. You don't have to bring that up.
Just saying.
I don't like that. Yeah, listen, I can't if you like turn-based RPGs, especially if you have Game Pass,
Listen, we have Game
use the
Pass.
hard.
Just give it a shot. Just
Yeah,
treat
grab it
yourself
and
and give
give
it a
it
shot.
away.
Yeah. Like I said, I fell in love with when that first hour through the prologue alone. Game had me hooked. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm be stuck on this weekend. So, which kind of was.
Indeed. Let's talk about Star Wars for a second.
Okay.
So Andor is currently running. We get 3 more episodes tonight. First 3 episodes were delightful. So I'm gonna they kind of set you right where you need to be. So I'm excited about these 3 episodes. But during Star Wars Celebration, we talked about this like last week, but they announced Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. And one of my favorite Star Wars characters is Ventress. And this show is highlighting Cad Bane, who we just recently saw in Mandalorian in live action, and Asajj Ventress, who honestly, from her debut in the Genndy Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars joint on Cartoon Network, I was like, who is this joint?
Oh, you
like,
were.
And I was very upset.
You were day one.
Day one, bro.
Yeah, day one.
And I was actually very upset that she didn't show up in live action in some way, because that and those animated featurettes that kind of turned into something longer than that were directly tied to the prequel movies, and they came out on Cartoon Network in between, like leading up to the second one and the third one. And yeah, I was a little upset that we didn't get some live action.
I think there's still hope with this coming out. There's still hope. I feel like
we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. When they announced it at Celebration, they announced that it was coming to Disney Plus on Star Wars Day. So that is this Sunday. So this Sunday debuts on Disney Plus. However, today, the power of Almighty Epic and the train that won't stop that is Fortnite.
Yep.
They announced that this Friday, so 2 days ahead of the premiere on Disney Plus, you can go to the Star Wars area in Fortnite and watch the first 2 episodes there before they're available to everyone else. They will only be available in Fortnite. And if you watch them in Fortnite, then you get an Asajj Ventress like splash screen, loading screen. while you're watching it or on your way to watch it, you get the fight off. They're gonna have like these hordes of like stormtroopers that are coming, and when you finish doing that, they're gonna give you access to like one of the I think it's the snow stormtrooper
Okay.
skins or something like that for it. Disney and Epic, man, Fortnite. 10.
A match made,
Are
you
you
know.
going to re-download Fortnite?
Here's the thing. I never took it off. I just keep it
Right.
updated.
Are
So
you going to? Because that's crazy. Because that joint's taking up a lot of hard drive space.
it is.
That's
It is. I got rid of Call of Duty, and I got rid of something else recently that was taking up a lot of space. I can't think of what it was though.
hopefully Destiny. Maybe not.
Actually, it might be Destiny because I need the space. I'm not playing it right now. It probably was Destiny. Yeah.
Probably was.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm going into Fortnite and watching on Friday.
You're gonna watch it on
I've
Friday.
never did it with the concerts and stuff like that. Like I watch that stuff like the next day on YouTube or something like that. I'm like, okay, I still have it there, so why not? So I got to reinstall it and figure out what to delete. Yeah, so
I would probably consider doing it if I didn't have to re-download Fortnite to do it. That's not happening. I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna be a Sunday guy. I'm just gonna take you that. I'm a Sunday guy. It's not happening.
Did they say what time it's supposed to happen on Friday?
I can tell you. It is.
I gotta make sure I'm home in order to do it.
10 a.m.
Oh no, it ain't happening then. I had to wait till Sunday then. I'll be at work.
Yeah, as part of the Star Wars themed Fortnite Galactic Battle season, Epic and Disney will launch the Star Wars Watch Party Island on May 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Fans who attend the in-game event will be able to watch the first 2 episodes of Tales of the Underworld. They will also have the chance to battle waves of stormtroopers using blasters and lightsabers. Players who watch both episodes will get a free Asajj Ventress loading screen in Fortnite.
Okay.
That's only part of the greater integration between Star Wars and Fortnite in May. Players will also be able to link their Epic accounts with their My Disney accounts. As a reward for that, players will get a new First Order Stormtrooper skin, as seen in the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Okay. A little bit upset I miss it, but it is what it is. Yeah, so.
You know, I'm going to be honest, man. At 10 a.m. on a Friday is weird, bro.
It is.
It is. To like, why wouldn't you do it at like 10 p.m.?
When most people be home.
And it's 7 p.m. Pacific. Like, I don't know. Yeah. That's weird. That's weird to me. But okay. Look, I just think that's a very interesting thing to do. You know, I do like that. I like what's happening in Fortnite in terms of the integration of other pieces of pop culture. Like some of everything is in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I like seeing them use it to reach out and do other things in it besides just the game itself. So I think it's cool. I'm not going to re-download it. They want too much hard drive space. That's a consideration these days. Hard drive space is
huge. Yeah,
it's currency.
Oh, what's that came up there? I forgot to update my Xbox. Was it Towerborn in Game Pass? It's like a 4-player. Yep.
I meant to text you, and then I got caught like prepping the show, and
I had it pre-downloaded, but I know I'm gonna do an update like the day of. So, cut you on, okay?
And then today, we got an announcement that to me came completely out of left field. So, PlayStation Blog makes a post, announces that tomorrow morning they are doing a PlayStation State of Play for Borderlands 4. I don't know what's happening here. That feels really, really weird to me. I don't know how you feel about it, Sim, but part of me is like, why? Why are we doing that? Like, I guess they have a marketing deal with PlayStation. They must, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Um, but a state of play seems over the top
They
to
must
me.
have a lot to talk about with it. Like they probably changed a
It's
lot of
a,
stuff, added a lot of stuff to it, and I'm pretty sure once it drops, you'll be able to go to the website and actually like tinker with the characters like they usually do, and kind of start to figure out what kind
probably.
of build you want. So I'm looking forward to that. That hopefully they do drop that tomorrow after the state of play, and I can go to the Borderlands website and tinker with it because I always do that when they drop those. Kind of figure out who I want
Yeah,
to
I mean, it
play.
doesn't let you save it. It just like lets you
No,
go in
yeah, you
and
just go
see
in and
the
just get a
different
feel out,
types.
yeah, for what the people can do and abilities and stuff like that. Yeah, I like tinkering with those when it comes out.
Um, PlayStation blog says, get ready for a deep dive on Borderlands 4. During this special state of play, I'll be joined by other members of the Gearbox team to share the nitty-gritty details of how you will wreak havoc across Kairos and take down the Timekeeper. Catch the show live on PlayStation's Twitch and YouTube channels on April 30th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Back at February State of Play, we unveiled the game's launch date trailer, which showcased a taste of the explosive action, fearsome enemies, and powerful loot. Since then, we've announced that Borderlands 4's launch has moved up to September 12th, 2025, meaning you'll get to enjoy the looter shooter action even earlier. In this upcoming State of Play, strap in with me and Anthony Nicholson, senior project producer, for over 20 minutes of developer guided gameplay, including missions, killer weapons, exciting action skills, new and returning characters, and more. And then they drop some key art, you
Okay.
know. And then remember to wishlist Borderlands 4 at the PlayStation Store. We'll see you on April 30th. Are you excited for Borderlands 4?
I am.
Interesting. Why?
I enjoy Borderlands. I'm about to do another run of 3.
Why?
Uh, Noah and Benny are running through it right now, so I'm joining them to run through it. So I've reinstalled it and everything. Been checking my characters to make sure I'm ready to go. So
So you're not doing a real run through. Like you're just gonna use your characters you already have. You're gonna like Sherpa them through. Like you're gonna
uh,
use your characters and
yeah,
like
I'm not gonna use the one I beat it with. I'm gonna use my secondary character to run through it. I can't remember what level they are, but yeah, they're definitely not as powerful as my main one. So I'll use that one.
yeah, you know what? Borderlands lost me. Um After 2, like I don't know, I just don't really care about the story and what's happening. They haven't done anything that I feel like is in as intriguing. The comedy's okay, it's cool, but it falls a little flat. Um,
Because they had
it
to
is an
follow after Handsome
enjoyable.
Jack. Handsome Jack was just too good.
Yeah, it's like we don't, it's cool, running around and shooting and whatever. But for the most part, it just feels like more of the same. And I don't know. I don't feel like from one game to the next. There was one Borderlands joint where like almost every place you went, like the gravity was different and the jumping and the movement
That was
was
the
different.
prequel. Yeah,
That was cool, pre-sequel, yeah.
yeah.
But outside of that, I don't know. It's just kind of lost its luster to me. Like once you get into and understand the idea of like you're gonna get some crazy guns that do some crazy things, and you kind of get over like this gun reloads when you throw the gun away, and like you get it back and it reloads, or like once you kind of get through that, and I'm interested to see what they come up with, like how they do some new stuff with it. Um, I'm interested, but right now I feel like I could skip it. Like I don't know it like right now they haven't shown me. I'm very interested in seeing what they do tomorrow, because right now I feel like nothing they have shown like elevates it beyond what they've already done. And I want to see what they're really doing. So whether that is somehow in whatever the action skills are, or something different about the feeling of the gunplay, or something. Um I liked Tiny Tina's Wonderlands because at least it at least felt like it was different
Mm-hmm.
enough from what Borderlands. It's in that world and it has a lot of that same appeal in terms of like what the comedy's like and so forth. But you know, going to a soda machine to get a new gun or get a new shield or get a new head. You know what I mean? And run to get a new skin. Like all of that is just kind of like, I don't know. These skin colors kind of seem the same, and this doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of doesn't. It doesn't feel like we're really doing anything new. It really feels like we could have just kept playing Borderlands 2, and they could have just added DLC. And that's how it feels to me. Like Borderlands 3 felt like DLC for Borderlands 2. What I've seen right now from Borderlands 4 feels like DLC for Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 did feel like a significant difference from Borderlands 1. And the next two didn't really feel like that for me. So, other than being like bigger in scope in terms of like the number of places that you end up going and you know what I mean, following the story, I don't know. It just didn't. It hasn't been able to catch me like 2 did. And I'd almost rather they kind of treated it like a Destiny at the time. We're just like, yeah, we're just gonna keep adding new stuff, and I might have felt better. Or like we're gonna add new characters, but you're still gonna have the other characters there. So maybe doing something like going beyond just 4 characters, right, and really giving them some differences in how they play and how they feel, and whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure what they have to do, but that's the thing that has me the most intrigued about tomorrow is seeing if somebody besides Randy Pitchford can talk about this joint and you know what I mean, really try to make me care, especially, I don't think the Borderlands movie did the franchise any favors, but
no, I actually forgot about it. You mentioned it just now, so
I mean, look, I'll be honest, if tomorrow they're like you could be Kevin Hart in this joint, I probably get it. I'm not even playing. I'll probably get the joint.
I can see I can see him having a voice of like some random character in it.
He definitely can't be Roland, but
No.
if he was just KH, if he was him, I'd be down. You know what I mean? I'd like to see them do some crossover stuff. Like I think that there's a considering they're 2K, like 2K is the developer for it. I know it's Gearbox, but 2K is who publishes it. I would like to maybe see them do some crossover stuff with some of the other IP that they have. So maybe just different outfits or something, kind of gives you, something from that. I think could be cool. Maybe do a partnership with Capcom and get some Monster Hunter skins or something, something like that. Could be cool. We'll see.
You hear what they're talking about tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't see that coming. I guess it's cool that it's happening, and we'll know after tomorrow, and maybe we'll talk about it next week if it turns out that it's something that's like, yo, they're really doing something.
Yeah.
If I'm sold on it after I watch the joint tomorrow, you definitely gonna hear about it next week. Definitely gonna hear about it next week.
I'm looking forward to what they're doing.
All right, check this out. I got a couple of trailers that are in our Google Doc. And why don't you grab that first trailer? Let's load that up. Here's the thing. If I'm scrolling through my YouTube, let's call it my timeline, and they are feeding me things that are the kinds of things that are for me, and I see something called Weapons, and this is a trailer for a movie called Weapons, I'm like, all right, based on my previous viewing, this should be right up my alley.
Nope.
We're about to find out. Did you say nope?
Nope. It is not up your, it's not up your alley. And the only reason I know is because I saw the trailer earlier today at work, and then the name threw me off. But when I watched, I was like, "Yeah,
watch it."
No,
you're not with it, huh?
No.
All right, well, yeah, definitely. Let's find out. Let's see what's going on. Cause, personally, yeah, it should be.
Yeah, it's trickery.
Why you're doing that, Sin? Speaking of like weapons, because and here's the thing, I figure it popped up because I've been watching like guilty pleasure. I've been watching a lot of like old like martial arts films, fights on YouTube. Hey, dog. When I was, I don't know, 9 or 10, I want you to know that I was probably incorrectly heavily hating on Cynthia Rothrock.
Why you hate on her like that? Your hands, bro. Come on, man.
Hey, dog, she's a monster, bro.
Like I didn't have like any of like her moves like that, but whenever I would see trailers and something like that, I'm like, dog, she got them hands, bro.
Bro, listen, and you're not wrong, but it like always felt corny, and I think it's because like, you know, back then, whenever we, back then,
Quit say it.
back then, right? Anytime we were watching like a kung fu flick, like it's always dubbed, and even though you really don't know any better, of course they always make them, I don't know, they sound kind of stupid and what they're doing. And like, Cynthia Rothrock just looked out of place because unlike people who came for real in her wake, like after the fact, like Van Damme and people like that, who like was like, even Steven Seagal, who's trash, but like, she was always really in Asian cinema, kung fu flicks, bruh, martial arts flicks, and really throwing hands with the ones where they don't really have, there's no real rules and there's no safety precautions.
Right.
Their teams are death teams, bruh. They're death patrols, bruh. And like, I'm gonna send you some joint.
Oh, please do.
It's that work, bruh.
Oh, she was getting that work. For sure.
Real talk. All right, let's watch this trailer.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids.
Look at your face.
But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why?
Alright, that's
because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
Hey, bro, real talk. I thought they was going to say
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
I thought so too.
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Oh, nay.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I'm good.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
No, I'm good. Hard pass.
I don't know, dog.
Hard pass.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. The first thing I thought was Thanos and the Silver Surfer in the same movie. That's the first thing I thought. Let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
Second, I might have to see this. I don't understand why the name of that is what the name is. What's up, Heather? That definitely isn't.
No,
dog. One, why would you call that?
You got to watch the movie to find out.
So now I might have to.
Enjoy.
I don't understand. I do know I saw a kid.
Oh, yeah. That car took him out. Arms flapping.
I don't know if you can show that in the trailer, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I don't. And was the boy a clown?
Like he had some type of clown makeup on his face. Yeah, when he got up off the desk.
Well, I know you're out.
Yeah, 100%.
It's Amaya's birthday. Might be busy that day, but I'm just saying. I might have to do that joint, dog. I am. It's rare that I'm intrigued by a joint like that enough to be like, I might have to see it because it's the name alone. It's like, why is it called Weapons? What does that mean? Where are we going with this? I don't understand. Sin. Let's move on to our next trailer.
Yeah, that's what that grin is. I was getting it ready, and then I saw what it was. I was like, okay.
Oh, have you seen this?
Nah. I saw like a thumbnail for it. I know, like a picture of it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch the trailer for The Smashing Machine. Also could easily be mistaken for something that's about something completely different.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. I bang with pretty much everything A24 does. Like they
got a streak going.
Yeah. They're cranking on all cylinders. All right, let's run it.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kirby?
Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kirby.
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000 people, and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world.
Yeah, that almost does not look like Dwayne Johnson.
No contract,
They did a good job,
no money. Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Don, would you like?
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Yeah, Don.
I mean, these are all real UFC.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
These are all real fighters in here.
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Yes, there were I'm sure
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink.
Let's
see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman.
Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I just need you to let me in.
Always about you. Only about fucking you.
Let's fucking go. My big strong man, I love you.
That looks
Think
really
he wants
good.
your autograph.
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
Hey, dog, I'm all in.
That looks really good.
I'm all in. You already know I'm less UFC these days than one championship, but generally, dog, if you put two people in the ring in front of me, dog, I'm glued. I mean, so I would definitely
That looks like A24 put their foot in that one again.
Yeah, definitely be sold on doing that. Look, I feel bad because I kind of promised a jokes appearance, but I don't know. I don't know.
Time is ticking.
This TikTok, and normally he'd have texted us by now, just to be like, "I'm booting up my computer.
Yeah.
I'm almost in." I'm gonna assume he probably got caught up a little bit at work.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Oh, and Zayn was not happy about weapons.
He got scared. It was scary. Oh no, not clowns. Didn't you watch it? I don't understand. don't understand. You mean not clowns? I know you don't. I know you don't do clowns. I know that's a thing. Clowns are for you, like pretty much all scary things are for sin. So I get it, though. I don't really think they're clowns.
It might that might have been just him. Like he had face paint on before whatever happened.
Listen, if I had to sit here and speculate about what's going on in that movie, I'd be making up all kinds of things. I have no idea, especially with a name like that. I don't understand. I don't know what that means. I don't know why only her class. I don't know what she did as a child to make that happen in her classroom.
What curse has been put on her?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, I don't. I'm a little out there. Okay, so here's what I need to do. So we got to talk about Loading Snacks Movie Club for a moment or two. It feels like maybe like every month and a half or so, I come on here, and as we're doing the show, I tell you, hey, we're doing some things different. We're making some changes, adjusting some things or whatever. And behind the scenes, generally we are, right? We are, and there are other things that are happening. One of the things that is happening is we are making some adjustments to Loading Snacks Movie Club, and we have made the decision to move Movie Club from a live discussion like what we're doing here right now to a pre-recorded show. And the reason for that is scheduling mostly. It is trying to get the highest number of people on the show at the same time to have a discussion that is bigger than 2 or 3 people, and being able to schedule that so that maybe not everybody, but we can get more people on. And recently, over the last few months, it's been much harder to do that, for any number of reasons, but some of them related to things like the same reason why Jokes is not here right now, right? So in order for us to just kind of try to reevaluate what it is and how it works and be able to get it to people in a way that allows us to have the best discussions we can have with the most varied opinions and so forth around the movie of the month, we've made the decision to go away from the live discussions and move into pre-recorded. Now, as of right now, the plan is still for those discussions to release on the last Monday of the month, because we do want to give people as much time as possible to watch the movie and have a chance to get into it and dig into things, rewatch it if they need to or whatever. But we will pre-record them. But it also does give us the advantage of being able to take that additional thing that is now pre-recorded and also get that to our patrons, our paying Patreon members early. And we are looking at curating and putting together more content that will either be exclusive to Patreon, or at least there will be more of it that is coming early to the folks who are supporting us there. That does not mean that, it might mean you're not going to get some things, but for the most part, you'll still get everything, and it'll still happen when it normally happens. But those who are there supporting us there will see some of that stuff earlier. And Loading Snacks Movie Club is one of the things that we're looking at making an adjustment like that to first. Now, in all honesty, the being flexible and kind of having to change things on the fly and make adjustments to the things that are like your baby, and I really wanted to be this way or whatever, they're not always easy decisions to make, but we got to make the decisions that really seem like they're going to be the best in the long run. We know that we're going to lose some of the element of having people watch along and chime in while we're having the discussion live. We recognize that. As we kind of get the ball rolling on it, what we'll probably be looking to do is to reach out to other people besides the normal admins you see on screen with you here, and have those people join us in the discussion there. Of course, obviously, when it goes live, people will still be able to comment and say how they feel and so forth there. But we kind of need to make this change. And look, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll make a different kind of adjustment and we're kind of pivot, because that's, kind of what we've had to do, and we've been doing it for a long time. And I will be the first to say again that like it's very easy to kind of come up with an idea and be tied to that idea and feel like this is the way it has to happen. And the reality of things is that doesn't always work. And in order for that thing to continue or to live on, you have to make modifications that kind of maybe take it out of some of that. And so losing that live aspect of it, while it feels like it hurts, I do think that in the long run, it will be better for the content, because I think we're going to get much better conversations out of it in the immediate. And so that's kind of where we need to be. So I wanted to kind of get that out there in front of everybody and to kind of explain what's happening and what you're going to be looking at going forward for Movie Club. Then do you have any thoughts on that? Anything you want to add to it? Or
no, you hit all the bullet points on the nail. Yeah, why we're changing it, what adjustments to expect, and why we have to pivot and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, scheduling has become a hassle with everybody, with everything that's going on. So, we want everybody to be there. We miss them when we do these things.
Yeah. I mean, look, scheduling has always been a hassle.
Yes.
Let me make that very clear. Scheduling has always been a hassle for us. We really do try to. It took us a very long time to get to a place where even this show was always on Tuesday, always at 8:30. It took a lot of finagling and some changing with our personal schedules with work and stuff like that. And it really just happened to be that it worked out that we can do it. But that's not always the case. Again, as you can see, sometimes Jokes is here, sometimes he's not, right? And so that's just the reality of also having day jobs. It's kind of what it is. So, we work with what we can and we do the best that we can to kind of try to make sure that we have something that hits on a regular basis. But just kind of looking at the successes that we are seeing and not seeing, whether it's with Anime Club, like having a regular cadence for that and having that hit every Thursday at 10 o'clock. Like, it's just like, it's there, you can count on it. And that's what we want. We want those kinds of things for you all, so that something is happening, that it's happening and when it's happening. And yeah, there may be a moment or whatever when something has to pivot or whatever. And you guys are always really understanding about that kind of stuff. But, this is a live thing. And so it moves and molds and shakes and so forth along with what's going on, in the world. And so that's kind of where we are on that. So we appreciate all the support you've already given us as far as Movie Club is concerned, all the people that are there. We're also looking to kind of grow that following a little bit. And I gotta be as open about it as possible. We've been doing this for a long time, and kind of habitually you start a new thing and the first thing you do is go, all right, well, let's make a Facebook page for it and we'll invite a bunch of people and hopefully people will join and community is active or whatever. And while that's cool and it works, we need to be able to grow the things that we do beyond that. And because a lot of those things exist in that space, we know that we can't grow it. What's up, Pidlet? We know that we can't grow it to a much larger audience, maintaining it in that one place on Facebook. And so we know we have to do some other things to get it out there. And the reality of it is, sorry to anybody who's here who kind of fits the timeline, but the reality of it is technically only old people have Facebook anymore or use it anyway.
Right.
And when I say old, like, don't be offended. We're in there. We're in there somewhere, right? But we don't even really use it that often, right? Most people have kind of converted over to Instagram. They're on Blue Sky, they're on Twitter, they're on TikTok, that kind of thing. And for us to be able to kind of grow it, we need to kind of do some things differently so we can take content and move it to those places so that we can kind of see the things blossom the way they need to. And so it doesn't mean it's going away from that space. It just means that we've recognized that in order for us to grow beyond that space, we've got to get into some other spaces and kind of change some things. And another realization that kind of helped us with that is when we decided, well, let's reach out to our audience that we have there and let's let them suggest movies that we do this year. And all the movies were old as dirt.
Yep.
All of them were like super old. And it's like, well, we want to have a good, we kind of run. Okay, let's say, oh, do I bring down the average? Yes. Only if you're using it. The reality of it, though, Kidlet, is that mostly you probably use it for business purposes, whether you realize that or not. As an artist, right? Like you post your work, you put those kind of things there, and like that's what it tends to be. There are generally people like 30 and up use Facebook. Are on Facebook. Like a lot of people have a Facebook.
Right.
30 and up are on Facebook. Like they go there on a regular basis for things. And there are people like us who use Facebook because there is a market there. There are people who are there. And we've all been on there so long that we have established groups and followings and so forth. And so it is a great place to do a lot of that stuff and have a market. But the reality of it is that if you are doing something like what we're doing here, we're really like our target, which is very difficult because we talk about some of everything, like, but our target audience is somewhere between 18 and 65, which is weird. 30 and below, you're going to have a very hard time getting them on Facebook. They're on Discord. They're on Discord. They're in WhatsApp. They're on Instagram. They're, you know what I mean? They're on TikTok. They're in other places, but Facebook is not one of those places. And because you can't have groups where you can start something like that on Instagram, that kind of stuff is harder to do and maintain and grow from that perspective in that space. So, Kidley, we can certainly sit down and have some business conversations about some of that stuff if you would like to at some point, really anytime you want. But that's just kind of the reality of what it is. And sometimes we, in our meetings every Sunday, have to have really difficult conversations with each other about how old we are. And I mean, how old Sin is. And, you know, what it really means for us to be able to, like, again, continuously grow the audience and kind of build out of where we are and what we do and kind of get beyond some of our comfort zones and so forth. And so that's kind of, you know, what it is. And so look, we're making some changes and we'll see what happens. And if it works out, then great. And if it doesn't, we'll do a different change. You know what I mean? And we'll just kind of keep plugging away, which is kind of what our mantra is and has been for a long time. So, you know, 'tis what it is. Now, this weekend, it's Free Comic Book Weekend. We will be at Comic Logic in VA for not only Free Comic Book Day, but for their 10th anniversary, which technically was like last week, or the week before. But they are celebrating at Free Comic Book Day this weekend, this Saturday. So that's where we'll be. Obviously, May 4th is Sunday, and that is Star Wars Day. And so I wish you all the greatest Star Wars Day ever. You know what I mean? Sin, we have a lot to do between now and then. One of those things that's happening is Anime Chat, right?
Yes.
So tell us about Anime Chat for Thursday.
Thursday, 10 a.m. it drops. We'll get into what turns out is going to be part one of our Evangelion discussion. So as far as our topic or whatever. So look forward to that. And also, I don't know if you have seen, Gage, if anybody in the chat has seen, Netflix released a trailer for their live action Kakaguri show they have coming. And which we watched a little while ago in Thriller Park where we're doing that. So we get into our thoughts. We've seen what a lot of people have been saying online, but we get into our thoughts of what we felt about the trailer and such. So yeah, and a lot more things, but yeah, very interesting. Look forward to that.
Okay. Sounds good. The new episode of The Finisher should be going up this Wednesday. They already recorded it, so it's just a matter of getting it posted. So that should be going up. I'll have that.
And I'm pretty sure he's got a new one coming in the tank at some point because Backlash is next weekend. So pretty sure he's probably got something to take for that.
Hey, listen, bro. I'm not paying attention to wrestling anymore. I'm done with you guys. Can't. I've had enough. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't
At some
stop.
point, it needs to go away. Bro.
No.
I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I appreciate that there's something out there that so many people appreciate that they can literally do it every day and have something almost every weekend. Like I just at some point we're gonna have to have a discussion on here about what that phenomenon really is. So maybe soon. We'll
I didn't realize it was next weekend because I was like, damn, that's closing WrestleMania just end and Backlash is already next weekend. Yeah. Figured that when I was watching Raw earlier because I didn't watch it last night. Like, oh, okay, so get ready for that next weekend. Okay.
It's always something. All right, so look, we're getting ready to shut it down. We have games to go play and videos to edit. I don't want you to think we're not doing any work. We have games to go play and some videos to edit. We definitely have games to go play. Among other things, we got some prep to do for this weekend.
I see it all, Cuddy. I see it all. The pics are saved in the phone. Don't worry.
Why would you even ask that question, Cuddy? You see mommy working out in a two-piece? Yeah, he's seen it.
Whatever.
Yes,
it's all over my FYP.
I don't even. There was a time when, like, if something came across my timeline, I would have sent it to him. There's no point. There's no point.
Not when it comes to mommy.
There's no reason to do that. Like, it's just
some of the other ones, sure, somebody might get past me, but not mommy. Nah.
It's a little sad.
All
We
day,
might not
every
be
day.
to have about that on the show.
We're good. It's mommy. Mommy's always on top.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Cuddy, grab Towerborn. Let me just tell you that now. Just grab Towerborn because it's gonna ready to go down.
It is in Game Pass, yeah, so go do it.
It's in there today. 4-person side scrolling beat 'em up RPG.
Yeah.
Don't play with me, dog.
all the trigger words. Side scrolling beat 'em up RPG, like we're done. Let's go.
Who does that? 4-player co-op side scrolling beat 'em up action RPG. Who told you could put those things together? And then just hand them to me in Game Pass.
Here, go play. Go have fun now.
I don't know what kind of space you got left on your hard drive, Cuddy, but let's get ready.
That's a very serious question. Yeah.
Let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. Look, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you so much. So glad you joined us. It wouldn't be the same without you, obviously. Again, making some changes. We'll kind of keep you guys posted on that kind of stuff as it's happening. If you're going to be at Free Comic Book Weekend this weekend, let us know. K Dizzle said, join us crazy. Watching solid FPS play it now. Hey, listen. K Dizzle, I don't know if you saw, they dropped a new trailer. They dropped the release trailer for Fragpunk today. You might want to take a look-see. And there's upcoming information. There's a live joint on YouTube for Firebreak coming. And that joint looks phenomenal. We're going to have some things to discuss. That Towerborn is going to be a problem. And it sounds like we got a solid 4. We already know we can't rely on jokes. But
can't never rely on them for that.
Ethan, K Dizzle, and Cuddy.
Could be a threat.
It sounds like a squad. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't really got to say no more. Let's see. Cuddy said, I got an unopened SSD butter on sale like a year ago. Oh, what are you waiting for? I know what you did last summer. Re-release joint. What are you waiting for? I did watch that trailer today.
Okay.
And I mean, and I thought about us watching it on the show, and I was like, we don't really got to do that.
We have weapons, apparently.
We have weapons, dog. Of course I'm going to click on that. Like, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that found my algorithm, but it is. No, K Dizzle, they don't want you to be responsible. They want you to have fun. I gotta be an adult, man. Sheesh. No, you yes, an adult with some time to play some games on the premium streaming service that you are already paying for as an adult.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Let's jump in Discord and let's talk about it. Sin, you got anything else?
Nope, I think we got it all. Clair Obscur, movies, yeah. Yeah, movie club, Borderlands.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready? Hey, bro, have you seen these reviews? Dog, they are saying that this is the best joint since Endgame. Like straight up, they're saying this is the best joint since Endgame. They are talking this joint up. I'm trying to act like that's not happening because it's gonna push. Like right now, my expectations are low, and now they're trying to play with me. I'm only 2 days away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Thursday after work.
I will tell you this. I know there's an after credit scene, and they said not only is the app. They said this after credit scene is like the best after credit scene ever, and
hyping it.
They do a great job of explaining the asterisk on the name.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm locked in come Thursday. Locked in.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, we will be recording a Spoiler Boys for that late Thursday evening so that you all can have that this weekend in case you haven't seen it, or if you see it and you're ready to get spoiled on it, that'll be available for you. I'm amped. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
You're more you later. Let's go.
Oh my God. All right, that's enough of that. Remember, you all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a great idea. With that, we are out. Toodles and lose.
Loading snacks.